First, I want to start off with Daryl Morey's small ball analytical system. Could it really maintain a healthy locker room? Because with him leaving, we're seeing now that this has pretty much a domino effect because a lot of guys were not happy in their roles. Now, looking at other guys besides Russell Westbrook, we have PJ Tucker. He's not happy that he's a starting 3-and-D guy and other guys are getting paid a lot more than he is. And of course, we all know Tillman Fertitta, the new Rockets owner, has been very cheap, and they actually have delayed PJ Tucker's current salary to guarantee it until the trade deadline upcoming for next season. So that in itself is pretty questionable because he was already playing at a discount. Then when you look at guys like Eric Gordon on the team, he's unhappy with his role being diminished ever since the 2017 season. He felt like other guys were eating into his minutes, particularly Daniel House. Now that in itself has a bit of irony in it because even Daniel House wasn't happy with his role with Mike D'Antoni, as he had a numerous outbursts with him back and forth throughout the season, and then even spilling over out in public where even other media members were able to catch it. It's funny how all these stories are coming into light right now. Now, even Austin Rivers this upcoming season has declined his player option as he wasn't happy with his inconsistent minutes during the season. Damn, everything is coming out of the woodworks this week. Even Trevor Ariza, former Rocket, had admitted the reason why he left the team because he felt disrespected and he was waiting for an apology. He really didn't go in depth, but I'm pretty sure it probably came from his role being diminished on the team or just something he probably was asked to do which didn't make any sense to him. Because once again, everything comes down to the analytics. It's whatever the analytics say is pretty much how this team goes. And this is the downfall with Daryl Morey's whole analytical heavy approach. There's nothing wrong with using analytics, but it should be one of the tools in your arsenal bag. It can't be the whole bag itself, because the analytics tend to never understand the mental aspect of the game, which pretty much kicks in during the playoffs as the whole game switches around. This is why Daryl Morey has great regular season records, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the playoffs, there's a certain hump he can't get over. Also, the analytics can never seem to understand the mental approach certain players have as far as getting in rhythm, because it seems like this was a major issue with a lot of players, from Austin Rivers to Daniel House to Eric Gordon. You can't just all of a sudden have a guy go in, just plug him in out of nowhere after you took away his minutes for 2 to 3 games, to just have him play a bunch of minutes just because the analytics tell you that his particular 3-point shooting works against a certain team on a certain night. You can't just plug guys in and out like that. It's starting to make a lot of sense why guys like Carmelo Anthony struggle to fit in, because him in particular, he was being asked to do shit like that, to not play for a certain amount of time, but then to come in out of nowhere and play heavy minutes and just start shooting. You know, it's funny because most of these complaints started happening internally within the Rockets after they lost that game 7 against the Warriors, in which they missed 27 straight 3-pointers. A lot of people were questioning the kind of direction that they were taking and where was the in-game adjustments. Now, you see, a lot of people think that things like this will eventually fall on Mike D'Antoni first before Daryl Morey, but I've seen Jim Jackson, who played for Mike D'Antoni under the Phoenix Suns system when it first came about and caught the league by storm, and he admitted out of his own mouth that Mike D'Antoni's offensive system was predicated on many different offensive skill sets, from post up to guys shooting threes, guys, you know, getting quick mid-range jumpers. But under Daryl Morey, we seen for the first time Mike D'Antoni's even offensive versatility was restricted to only threes, layups, and getting to the line. So like dominoes, we've seen the coach become restricted. Some of the newer stars like Russell Westbrook become restricted. PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, Daniel House, Austin Rivers. Man, it seems like after a certain time, especially with Daryl Morey starting to become restricted financially on the moves he can make, because the new Rockets owner wants to be on the cheaper side of the balance sheet and not hit that cap so hard. It seems like as he became restricted, everyone else became restricted, and pretty much his new analytically only approach has pretty much created a toxic environment within the locker room.